What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to Roads Untraveled. My name is Marcus, and in front of me here is the 2019 Dodge Ram 1500 Bighorn. We're gonna go through all the features. Let's take a look. All right, so here it is, the Bighorn. This huge chrome grille you see out front here is just one of the things that separates the Bighorn from the standard 1500. Now we are here in Canada, and the Bighorn starts at $48,000 Canadian. This one is almost fully spec'd out, minus the V8 engine, and it is priced at $68,000. And that's with destination charge, etc. So we are going to go through all of the features in this truck. We're going to start out with the driving. We're going to head on into the interior and show you guys some of what makes the Bighorn pretty special, including this awesome air suspension, lift and lower system that this truck's been fitted with. But let's waste no more time. Get on the inside and go for a drive. First impressions, this truck's pretty great. The one standout thing that has stood out more than anything is the road noise. There's none of it. It is very comfortable in here. Like, the interior is pretty good, and we'll get to some of those features. The materials are good. With the Bighorn, you do get some leather wrapped options with the interior, including this steering wheel. The gauge cluster looks great. It's got a bunch of cool features in there that you can scroll through, so your fuel economy, etc. But the road noise is pristine. It's really good. I don't know what they did with this truck, but comparing it to a couple of other trucks we've driven recently, it's quite impressive how much the 1500 Ram actually isolates you from the world around you. Another thing, actually another standout point, these are going to seem very random, but the AC is incredibly cold, which a lot of new trucks are, but just had to point it out. In the summer here, the AC is phenomenal. Really great HVAC system in the 1500, and we are going to take it for a drive. So this one has been spec'd with the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 with variable valve timing, so near the top end of the power band. You do get a little bit more power. How much power? It's not all that much. It's got 305 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque, and I've been full throttle for 10 seconds, and I can comfortably have a conversation with you with no cargo in the back. So this is as fast as this truck will ever be. It's adequate. It's fine. You know, with the variable valve timing, it really does, you know, it does the trick. It's not gonna blow you out of the water, especially if you're towing something or if you are going off-roading. You're really gonna have to wind it out. And that's what I've noticed. If you wanna go any more than kind of 50% throttle, if you wanna pass someone on the freeway, you are going to be winding this engine out. But the good news is, obviously, this is a Dodge Ram. There's a Bighorn, right? So you can spec it with the 5.7 liter Hemi, which has over 300 horsepower and pound-feet of torque. So, engine aside, it's a fine engine. It is paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission that does a pretty good job. You know, there's a little bit of a delay. There's a delay in the kickdown when you really get into it. The throttle sometimes feels a little bit lethargic, I'm not gonna lie. Like right there, now it finally kicked down after about 3 or 4 seconds of having my foot down. So it doesn't necessarily feel too connected to the engine all the time, the gas pedal that is. But it's fine, you know, the engine and the transmission are here to do work. They're not here to put a smile on your face. So other changes included with the Bighorn, you get this massive chrome grille on the front. Lots of chrome on the front. If that's your style, you know that's your style. It's not my style. I'm not a big chrome guy when it comes to trucks especially. There's a little bit too much chrome, and that's why a lot of these Dodge trucks especially, I mean, Ford kind of has this going on with the platinum stuff, but there's just too much chrome and flashy materials, especially on the front of the truck, and it just kind of makes you feel like you're showboating a little bit. Maybe some trucks that's okay, but here in a, fairly base V6 factory Ram 1500 Bighorn, it's not really necessary in my opinion. But that being said, this new generation Ram is a great looking truck. It looks really good. Not to say that the previous generation looked bad. It did not. It's a really good looking truck as well. But this new Ram looks phenomenal. We've actually been getting quite a bit of compliments. I've had a couple people come up to me when I've been driving this truck around this last week or so. And people really enjoy it. You know, they want to know what's going on. You've got a really cool Dodge Ram badge in the middle of the steering wheel here that kind of completes the overall look here. When it fires up, you see Bighorn kind of show up on the digital screen there. You've got Ram logo in the middle of the gauge cluster, which is a very nice gauge cluster. I'll give it that. The interior design on this truck is fantastic. And I really enjoy what they've done with the gear selector here. Now, in a normal truck, you would have either, if it's a smaller truck like the Colorado, you have a normal automatic gear selector down here going back and forth. Or on a bigger truck, you would have a stack right on the steering column, which is fine. I really enjoy this. This is a nice take on the classic way to do a shifter on an automatic transmission truck, and this works out really well. It's just 2 clicks to reverse, 3 clicks left to park, and my initial fear with this setup was that it was going to be delayed. There was going to be a little bit of a delay because it is digital, right? But that's not the case. It is very responsive, and you can switch between reverse and park, drive, neutral very, very quickly. It's easy to use, does not require a lot of movement. So there's that. And then right below, you can go from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive low, and 4-wheel drive auto, which will automatically sense where the tires or where torque needs to be distributed between all 4 wheels. Because of course, you do not buy a Ram Bighorn unless you want all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. There are a few features when it comes to the back. So this one has been spec'd out with a few of the adjustable hooks in the bed of the truck, which come in very handy. They're kind of on these sliders in the back of the truck on the left and right. They're completely removable as well if you want to do that and have a little bit more space. Again, this is the quad cab though, so this is more kind of suited to a daily driver work truck, or if you have 5 people to haul around, this is your truck. I would tend to go with the shorter cab, extend the bed a little bit, but of course you can spec it however you want. The spray-on bed liner seems to be very durable. We're actually rebuilding a house right now, doing a bunch of renos, so we've had a chance to actually use it a little bit, transport some doors and whatnot, which has been good. And then over here, another cool feature with the Ram Bighorn is you have adjustable ride height, so adjustable air suspension. You can start out in normal, which we are driving right now, just normal ride height. We can lower it. If you have a bunch of cargo in the bed, that'll take up a lot of that weight, and the truck will sit like a rake like that, at a rake like that, so that you can actually fill up the bed, and then you have a drivable truck. So you can raise it to off-road 1, and then you can also raise it to off-road 2, which is the highest ride height position. And it gives you a bunch of ground clearance. It's really a cool sensation, to be honest, to be sitting in a truck at the lowest and then raise it, and then you kind of see it raise the back, raise the front, raise the back, raise the front, and it gets up. I mean, there's a big, I don't know exactly how tall it goes, but there's a big difference between normal and off-road 2. The only thing with off-road 1 and off-road 2, you cannot drive it at any kind of speed. What I found, it kind of gives you a warning if you go above kind of 50, 55, 60 kilometers an hour. It says, hey, are you sure? Because we're going to lower the truck down back to normal above those speeds. And then it will automatically lower if you're going kind of above 60 kilometers an hour. So that's probably just for safety. But normal ride height would be plenty enough ride height for any of your scenarios you would find yourself in. So it also has adjustable pedals. So what that means, if you guys aren't familiar, so you can basically adjust the pedals further away from you or closer to you, which is strange. The only other vehicle I've really seen that in is the Ford GT, which has a seat that is bolted in place. You cannot adjust the seat in any way. You adjust the steering wheel and the pedals closer or further to suit your driving position. This isn't quite to that extent. You have many adjustments and lumbar support adjustments on the seat here, which are very nice seats here. But the pedal box is, adjustable, so you have that little bit of adjustability there.
So a couple weeks ago, we had the ability to film the 2019 Chevrolet Silverado Trail Boss. Now, it's nice that we've had the opportunity to actually review this Ram because we got to see what Chevy is putting out in that marketplace. Now, this is the full-size truck from Dodge, and I have to say that I think that they really knocked it out of the park, the overall styling and the branding of this truck. I personally like the overall look and appearance of this a lot more than the Silverado, just because it looks very modern, it's very sharp, but it doesn't have that transformer look to it that I really dislike. Now, personally for me, there's too much chrome on the front of this truck, as you can see, but I think that's a small gripe compared to all the other nice design choices that they offer. But anyways, let's hop inside and take a look at some of the cool features that they offer. All right, so as soon as you sit inside this truck, the first thing you realize is just how much stuff they have going on here. Now, I'm not gonna have time to go over everything, but there are a few things that I really wanna point out that I think that Dodge has done a great job with. First, I think that the seats they have here, I just feel are a little bit smaller than the Silverados. Now, this material isn't the most durable, and especially it being a work truck, I wish they went with leather seats just because I think that'll hold up over time better. But I mean, they do fit well, and they actually have nice bolstering around the side. Now, everything on the inside here feels quite durable and quite solid overall. You don't really have any rattly plastics. I mean, it could be a little bit higher quality, but again, for $68,000, it blows my mind that you get all of this with that package. Now, one thing I find almost comically huge in this truck is this center console. It's absolutely massive and it's incredibly deep. Like, I don't know if you could properly utilize all this space with the amount of stuff they have going on here. They have your phone holder down below, as well as an actual normal outlet, so you can plug in, a phone charger or whatever you need without actually bringing a cigarette lighter adapter, which is always nice. The cup holders slide back and forth. You have different storage options. You have USBs, more USB charging ports that you could possibly imagine. You got one in here, you got two more here, two USB-Cs, which are great to have, as well as a few in the back. Now, something that I've been thoroughly enjoying with newer vehicles is all the added storage options that manufacturers have been including in the center console. Now, along the side here, you can see they actually have these little pockets, and I'm guessing that this is kind of made for a map or a magazine or something like that. But I just find that they're just the way that they designed it, they do not give you very much storage space here at all. And I think it's just gonna end up collecting dirt and dust, and it's very hard to clean because, again, it is so tight in there. So I like the effort, but I think that they could have done a little bit of a better job with that. Now, I do want to talk about the infotainment system quickly, and everything I think is a good layout, it looks modern, and it's easy to use. However, I do find that there's a little bit of a delay as you're going through the menu options. However, something that I think they did extraordinarily well is with the backup camera. It's one of the most high resolution cameras I think I've seen in a lot of new vehicles. It looks great, it takes up the entire screen, and it doesn't give you that overly fisheye angle, so things aren't overly distorted. However, this is where I think that the Silverado comes out on top, because Chevrolet has one of the best camera systems, I think, out of any other of the 2019 cars that we have filmed. They offer so many different angles, such as your front, side cameras, rear, as well as your bird's eye view and your third person view. And you can switch through all those different angles right here. Now, having a full-size truck like this, getting through tight spots gets a little bit tricky. You don't want to scratch the side, you don't want to ding the rims. And this is where having all these extra camera angles come into real value, because you can flip through the different options and know exactly how much clearance you have around your truck without ever getting out of the vehicle. However, with this Ram truck, they did do a good job of actually positioning the camera properly so you can see everything behind you as well as where your hitch would be. So when you're lining up your trailer, you don't have to get out of your truck and see how far away you are. With the Silverado, they give you that proper reverse angle, but you actually have to switch to the hitch angle to get the fine precision detail. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel, I think they did a great job making something that's easy to use, all the buttons feel really solid, and the material itself feels quite durable. Now, I don't like a steering wheel with too many buttons, as it makes it difficult to operate. However, I think they did a good job hitting the right balance with the amount of buttons here, as everything is very easy to find and you don't even have to look and you know what you're hitting. Finally, one thing I do want to point out is the gauge cluster. I think they did an absolute awesome job incorporating the physical needles at different depths, as well as giving you the LCD screen that is high resolution and crystal clear. And I think it looks very modern and is very eye-catching. And it feels like a 2019 vehicle. So they did a great job with that. But anyways, let's hop back in the car with Marcus and finish up the review.
All right. For low, ESC is automatically turned off, so we have no traction control. This actually does have an optional locking rear differential, which is really cool. Not this particular one, but you can get it optioned. Wow. A little bit more comfortable than other trucks we've driven across the same little patch here. It's not much, but handles it pretty good. I really do like the design and materials on the interior here. The thing I don't get is why you would get a Bighorn and spec it with a 3.6 liter V6. Come on, it's the Bighorn. I've got big horns. I'm driving a Dodge Ram, and then you've got a 269 pound-feet of torque. Like my MR2 Turbo has more torque than this truck, which is kind of sad. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, you're watching Roads Untraveled. This has been the 1500 Bighorn. Just a quick look at this truck for you guys today, and it's been quite a bit of fun. So subscribe if you haven't already. Hit me up on Instagram at Roads Untraveled, and you can kind of see what we're shooting on a day-to-day basis and a little bit of the behind-the-scenes kind of stuff that we're doing. We'll see you guys next time.